So just kind of started a sim here to mess around with the Boston Red Sox, just to, test out some stuff in Out of the Park 25. Why would I pick the Red Sox? I mean, that's a totally fair question. I just am kind of doing the sim, just kind of like half paying attention, half trying, but also just like watching what's happening with the game. And I think that's kind of like what the Red Sox are doing too. They're kind of like half trying. They're kind of half paying attention. They're kind of half committed to being a decent team. So I figured it was a good match for us. I don't really understand what the Boston Red Sox are doing in real life. Do any of you understand? They're just like, we'll let not let Betts go, but we'll trade Betts. We'll let Bogarts go, but we'll extend Devers. And then we won't go for like the top free agents, but we'll sign Trevor Story. And, we'll do these kind of like half-ass measures to be a competitive team. It's like, come on, dudes. You're the Boston Red Sox. Like, you were the answer to the Yankees' evil empire. I mean, as an Orioles fan, I don't mind the Red Sox seem like half committed to being like a small market team, half committed to like, I don't know what. I don't mind. But if you actually, let me mention this, if you like the Red Sox or you just like good baseball writing in general, check out the link in the description to the Sox Outsider Substack. It's a newsletter. You can get it for free, or you can choose to pay a little money to support the work of the person who puts a lot of work into creating it. It's my friend Matthew Corey. He's written at The Athletic, Fangraphs, I think like some other places too, probably like, I don't know, Hit Parade Magazine and maybe Spin. No. But yeah, so I was texting with old Mr. Corey, and I think it'd be fair to say that he was like, the team is like fine, but they're just counting on every single thing going right. Like health-wise, performance-wise. Like if everything hits right, they might be okay. But it's like nothing ever hits 100% right for a team. So anyways, enough on my Red Sox saying, like, I just thought they would be interesting to do because, like, I mean, first of all, like, yeah, they're just kind of hanging out. It's like, what are you guys doing? So I've kind of like half committed to the sim too. I'll show you what I've done so far. I started recording this like an hour before Blake Snell signed in real life. And so I actually signed him here to the Red Sox. 4 years, $104 million. So he got a bit more money from me. Only $20 million in the first year, though. So, haha. And then he's got an opt-out, which he'll probably take. And an opt-out again after year 3. Or a player option, I guess, same thing. And he's having, here we go this way. He's having a nice season. I would expect him to opt out, considering what he's doing if he keeps this up. But I feel like that was a really big need for the Red Sox because I don't really understand their rotation in real life. It's just like, I don't know, man. Like, you're the Red Sox. Like, you're not like the Kansas City Royals. Like, you don't have to depend on just like your young players and pinch pennies and etc. But I mean, they have some really decent arms, but it's just like, again, come on, you're the Red Sox. So we are 30-35. We've been like fine-ish. I showed you were looking at the standings there for a while, so I'll take you back. Hitter side of things, Devers is he started really cold, but now he's hitting well. Dahlbach in a bench role. You can see Yoshida, Grissom, Casas. Oh, I forgot to show you the rest of the transaction log. Hold on, I like signed some extensions. I like got excited about finishing Snell, and hold on, let's jump back there. So yeah, I made a couple other moves. I signed Rafaela to an 8-year, $49 million deal. We call this the Ozzy Albies special. Signed a top prospect to a really cheap deal. He's been not great so far this year, but I'm not worried about it. Let's see. In April, I did sign Tristan Casas to a 7-year, $106.9 million deal. Nice. That wasn't even intentional. Was this a smart deal? I don't know. Probably. It's probably good value, but I don't love tying up that much money in a first baseman. But I did it, and it's fine. I mean, he's only making 23 in his highest year, and we're the Red Sox. We can afford that. Other than that, not a lot happened. We signed Lourdes Gurriel to try to plug the outfield because it's just terrible. He had been cut, but I don't know that he's really the answer. And, yeah, not a lot else has gone on. You can see just a lot of holes here. Wong and McGuire, O'Neill, Rafaela, Story, all pretty rough. Gurriel just got here. And then our other bats have started to pick it up. But That still throws me off, that change. But in runs scored, we're ninth. We were like 14th, 15th in a lot of these when Vaughn Grissom was out, and he was hurt to start the year as he is in real life. And Devers started the year cold, but we've started to pick it up. We're 6-1 in June after some rough months early on. So that's what we're working with so far on the hitting side. Pitching side of thing, been top of the rotation's been pretty good. A little rough towards the back end. Bullpen's been okay, but yeah. So that's kind of our intro to the Red Sox. I've got the draft, the deadline. I don't know. I'll show you guys some of that, but basically, this is just kind of like a fun sim. I wanted to show you guys that I'm doing. Made some, big signings, couple extensions. I think I'll try to like dig in a little more and evaluate this team. I don't have a ton of money because of the Snell signing took up a lot of my budget room, as you can see, but maybe I'll like spend less on the draft or something, or not spend on international free agency. So after those deadlines, like I'll have more money, but yeah, that might not work well actually, but maybe I'll go in commissioner mode these because I forgot to edit them. I don't want to spend that much on the draft. I want to win now, get some underslot deals, but that's where we're at. Let's jump ahead a little bit and I'll show you how our half committed sim to the half committed Boston Red Sox, how it works out for everybody. Just kind of continuing to plug along here with the Boston Red Sox. Our 46-52 record might suggest it's kind of been more of the same, but we actually we're really good, and then we just tanked. We went 18-7 in June. We were like 2 games over 500. We were like a couple games out of the division lead. It was like everybody in the division was within 4 games of each other, and then July came along and we just bottomed out. Like our pitching sucks right now. Our defense has gotten bad. I don't know, man. I did just make like a couple moves that were like not well thought out. Just kind of like, again, half committed moves of like, oh well, this seems fun. This seems cool. Let's do this. Let's see. I think it was in June was when this nonsense started. Yeah, so we traded 4 minor leaguers to the Phillies for Nick Castellanos. We're only paying half his money, and Jose Alvarado, so we really needed another bat. And Castellanos has been awesome. He was a 102 WRC plus, but a minus .7 WAR guy in Philadelphia. I mean, somehow in 74 games he put up a negative 12.7 zone rating, which I know Nick Castellanos isn't like a great fielder. That makes sense to me, but I have noticed a growing number of guys who it's just like, man, his defense is what? Like just the fielding stats, the zone rating, and like then also like the WAR because it comes off of the fielding stats. I don't know, like it seems off. Like a negative 25 zone rating or so. This would be over the course of full season. More than that probably. And to be like just above league average hitter, but then be like 2 wins below replacement over a full season. I don't know. Is something off there? Like you guys tell me. I'm not really sure, but it seems a little funky to me. But this is just one data point. But I've noticed it with a couple other guys. I haven't really dug into it, but let me know what you're seeing. He's had a very nice 69 plate appearances for us, 15 games. He's got a 156 WRC plus. He's gone yard 6 times. I mean, he's crushing the ball, and he's also a DH for us. Now, I need him to walk. I mean, well, I would like him to walk more, but he's cut way down on the strikeouts, and he's crushing the ball. It's not a crazy BABIP. So Nick Castellanos has done pretty well so far. We also got Jose Alvarado, who was pitching well in Philly. When's he under contract till? Oh, wow, we're paying him $9 million per year for a few years. But he's a very good reliever. I think he stepped in as our closer. Yeah, it looks like he blew a save there against the Dodgers. Then he got the save. I mean, his ERA is really rough, but that's probably, I mean, this 1 4-run outing in a third inning, that'll do it. FIP is fine. Like, I was happy to have him. We gave up some dudes, 24-year-old, whatever. 26-year-old, that's fine. 25-year-old. So basically, like, a lot of, like, older, high-level minor league players who, like, I don't know, if this is a long-term sim, I would have been more thoughtful about it. Like, do I need these guys as organizational depth, 40-man depth? But I decided in a short-term sim I don't. This is a catcher, Nathan Hickey, who was crushing it in Double-A. And so those are the 4 guys we traded to get a big DH bat in our lineup, to get a back-end bullpen arm. And then that made CJ Crone kind of excess, so I shot. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I shopped CJ Crone. We got Mike. Is it Talkman? How does he say his name? I'm sure you guys will let me know. who was having a miserable season in Chicago, but he's come over to us and been okay. 96 WRC plus. We needed some outfield depth, so he's been okay. I don't know if he'll survive the season on our 26-man, but we'll see. And then Michael Bush, he's not AAA depth. Maybe he'll be up at some point. And then shopped around Rob Refsnyder, and the Orioles offered me Jordan Westberg, which is obscene. So we've got him here, but we're pretty stocked at infield. So unfortunately, he is in the same boat he is in Baltimore, where he is just kind of major league ready, but blocked. So yeah, Yoshida was hurt. Let's see what else. Anything else interesting going on? I mean, Vaughn Grissom is still hitting the cover off the ball. Cassis is hitting well, pretty good from Devers. Bobby Dahlbach, short, small role, but doing well. Some guys who, I mean, our catcher situation is bad. Should we just call up Kyle Teal from AA? Maybe. Abreu and O'Neill are not getting as much playing time now, but I just called Abreu up, I think, for the Yoshida injury, and he's back. He's batting leadoff. Yeah, Yoshida is hurt now, and he's batting leadoff, which is just like maddening to have a guy with a 65 WRC plus batting leadoff against lefties and righties. I mean, he's hit the crap out of the ball in AAA when he's in there, but he's been terrible for us since he came up. Well, actually, I mean, he's hitting well. He's terrible for us when he's been up this year, but he's actually hitting really well his last 4 games. I hadn't noticed that, but still, I would rather him not be batting leadoff for now. And then, I mean, to then have Tyler O'Neill batting second, I know it's a lefty versus righty thing, but he hasn't been good this year, really. I mean, he's been okay against lefties, but I don't know if I want him batting second when that could be, Grissom, Devers, Castellanos, Cassis. I got issues with this lineup, with the lineup decisions, but oh well. Did I make other deals? Not, I have been thinking, with where the record's at now, would the smart thing to do to be, start shopping Snell and Pivetta. I'd imagine Snell's going to opt out, although Snell has been, you might notice his ERA, look at his splits. He had a 3 ERA in April, good, then it was, not great, and then 4.61 with a 6.58 FIP. His strikeout per walk ratio went to, percentage went to 8.8. I mean, obviously super low. The strikeouts were way down. The walks are always kind of an issue. The home runs were way up, but the BABIP was 186, so that's why he didn't get killed. But then this month in 3 starts, he's got a 13.5 ERA and 9.49 FIP, so he's really hit a rough stretch here. I think I'll still opt out, but Nick Pivetta is also a free agent next year and is having a really nice year. So, is he somebody who we're going to sign? I don't know, that deal. Oh, well, we don't have. Hold on. Oh, money left for extension of sign is $3 million. Got it. I don't know, but we're gonna have holes in our rotation next year again, which I'm not entirely sure how to plug up right now. I started shopping some of them around and found some semi-interesting things out there, but it's we're gonna come into next season with the same issues if it continues. We're just gonna have not enough high-end talent in the rotation. I don't know. It just kind of feels like the team's in neutral right now. And, some of that's I'm going out and trade for Nick Castellanos and this is a short-term sim, so I'm just kind of playing for this season or two instead of trying to reposition the organization better for the long term, which maybe is Boston is doing in real life, in the midst of, but keep waiting for them to flip that switch, but they haven't. And I just kind of feel the moves I see coming are just going to be more of that stuck in neutral type stuff. But we've got decisions coming quickly. I mean, we can just kind of sim here and see. I mean, if we win, if we win 7 in a row here, maybe we're talking a different story. We really slumped at a bad time. Man, a 13-4 loss to the Rockies? Come on. Who got blasted? No, Blake Snell wasn't good, but then, wow, Kenley Jansen is just so bad this year. He's lost velocity twice. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been good at all. I mean, we're in Colorado, so we can write that one off. But I mean, basically, we need to win 4 of the next 5. I feel all right, 5 of the next 5. Well, Abreu's still hitting. That's cool to see. Vaughn Grissom, another big day. Yeah, Whitlock got rocked. Man, Alvarado rocked again. What's going on, sir? So I don't know. Do we just want to reset, kind of rebuild on the fly type thing for this year? I mean, we're a hot streak away from being back in it. And I think we have a decent team. We have Yoshida coming back. I mean, the division, 9.5 games back with 5 teams. Not sure we're getting that, but I mean, we're only 3.5 out of the wild card. And there are a lot of teams here, but like, I kind of want to make a run at it, even though that's probably a really dumb thing to do. Let's see how we do these next 2 days. Oh, we lost 9-8. Oh, we got trade proposals. Okay, so some teams are trying to convince us to sell here. They would send this third baseman who I don't mind. I don't mind this guy one bit. I don't love his fielding profile. Don't love it, but like that power is super tempting. And this outfielder, like he seems fine, but he's 24. He's minor league depth. But we'd mainly be giving up Chris Martin, who like I'm fine giving up. He's a free agent, but then like who's this dude? Yeah, I don't want to give up. I mean, not that this guy's like a stud. I don't really want to give up a pitching depth though. Like I would do Adams for Martin, sure. Like that deal's done if they're willing to do that. And then what's this? So they want Chris Martin and Blaze Jordan. I don't really know that we're in the market to trade Blaze, but what are they offering us? Okay. Nothing blowing me away here. How about Carson Montgomery? Wasn't he like a high pick? No, I'm thinking of somebody else. 11th round. I don't know, dudes. Like, to be honest, like this kind of makes me want to shop Chris Martin around. Let's see what happens. What should I do? Let's see what they say. If we want a prospect package for Chris Martin. We don't want to allow them to put other people in. Well, nothing? Dude, all right, let's allow you to put other people in. Da, 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 da. Okay, I mean, these offers are far worse than what we had there. Let's say single player, prospects, all players. That's so weird, man. Like, our team's like not interested at all in Martin, or like, see what I would like to do. Oh, this trade offer has expired. Milwaukee, what'd you do? Oh, because they traded this dude to the Astros. Well, shoot. Like on the day you sent that proposal, they traded him straight up for Alex Bregman. What? Bregman, who was having a bad year in Houston. Was Houston bad? Oh, wow. 48-57, yeah. Man, okay. Well, I missed the boat on that guy. I mean, I didn't see the offer until this guy was already on the Astros. I didn't get the offer until he was already on the Astros. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we lost to the Yankees 9-8. Let's see. We're gonna punt this decision another day. I mean, it's not punting a decision. I think we got to sell off a few pieces at least, like smaller ones. Yeah, we just keep losing. But do we want to trade like Castellanos? I don't think so. I mean, Kenley Jansen is just, I mean, he's a free agent at the end of the year, but like, approaching DFA territory here, man. I don't think we're going to unload this guy, although there's some interest. Cutter Crawford is in the pen. Right. There was some interest in this dude, but he's league minimum guy, like, and he's a decent. Yeah, I don't really want to unload him. I think he's a piece next year. But like Pavetta, like, I don't see us bringing him in back. I think we could spend that money differently, but like if a multiplayer package with like a starting pitcher. Blackburn, no. Not too interested there. JP Francis hurt. Austin Voth. Oh, Edward Cabrera. How's he looking this game? He's outspoken, disarmingly honest. Like, that's Not, I mean, really interested in the player, like based off of my real life. Tim Anderson, I don't really know why we'd need him. It's an expiring deal, so who cares? Nick Gordon is having a really good year. He's about to be arbitration eligible and make $4 million. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. Hold on. All right, never mind. I didn't realize I allowed them to put other dudes in the deal. All right, I'm going to have to relook at that. Patrick Sandoval is an interesting enough guy to bring in. His arbitration estimate is 8.9 next year, but they want this guy in the deal. I think I'm going to need to rerun this. Oviedo is an interesting arm. Legend, out of the park legend Christopher Sanchez. All right, so there are some things here where Brady Singer, Kyle Wright, he's got a torn labrum, but they want to. I don't really want to give up prospects. Cole Swerve and Irvin. Let's run this again without me accidentally leaving that checked. I mean, Christopher Sanchez is just like, this is just another good like depth arm, right? Not really doing a ton to like move the needle, but also like good to get a possible like back end of the rotation piece back for Pivetta. Sandoval is actually the most interesting to me. I don't really have any interest in Jason Martin. I wonder if there's somebody else that they'd be willing to put in. Johnny Brito, not too interested. Darius Vines and Ian Anderson. Vines is 26. He's making the minimum. What's his option year? He's got 2 option years left. What's Anderson's deal now? He's back for them. He's pitching in AAA. My scout doesn't even see him as a starter. Says he looks like an average reliever. He's starting down in Gwinnett. Take a flyer on Ian Anderson. See if we can bring him back to form. I don't know. That seems like a package worth considering for sure. I think the Braves one with Anderson and Vines, and also Sandoval, I think is like more of a sure thing. It doesn't look like the Marlins are willing to deal Cabrera in this deal, but we could always revisit Cabrera with them at a later time. Christopher Sanchez is worth a shot too. But let me discuss this. Because it basically gives us a player who I think is pretty decent in Sandoval, but has more team control. I think he probably has 2 years of arbitration after this one, maybe just 1. Let's see. Sandoval, yeah, he's got 2 more years of team control. Like, I honestly think that's kind of like a smart move. I don't think it's really a downgrade for us. I'd rather not take on Jason Martin. I'd rather take on like an okay-ish prospect if they're agreeable to that. Like even like a relief prospect. Yeah. Let's see. This starting pitcher's hurt. What's his deal? Bone spur. He's pitching well in AAA. He's got good work ethic, good intelligence. Let's see if they're willing to throw in a 25-year-old injured pitchers in AAA. We'll see what they say. And that's going to bring us to deadline day, actually. So is there anybody else? Oops, on the wrong team here. Is there anybody else that I want to shop around for now? Pavetta's the big one. I mean, nobody's going to take Kenley Jansen. Chris Martin, Tyler O'Neill. I can't imagine anybody's really itching to get him. But hey, we can give it a shot. Oh, wow. Wow. What? There's this much interest in him? What? Dylan Head? Really? Why? Why is he available to me in this trade? because AJ Preller wants below average. This game does like Tyler O'Neill a lot. This game definitely likes. How many option years does Randy Vasquez have? Let's see what he does. Is Vasquez on the Major League roster? Let's see what they say if I say, okay, guys, I want Dylan Head, but I also want you to put in Vasquez. Where is he? I missed him. All right. Am I like... There he is. This would be another trade that would be a major win for us, I think. Like, not, and it's not like a rebuild move necessarily. Like, who cares? It's an outfielder who's been terrible for us this year. Pivetta, O'Neill. I still think we could try to move Martin somehow, but let's see if we, like, retain 65% of his salary. Can we get a prospect back? I mean, I don't know if they're prospects. There's a bullpen arm that we could send to the lab to work on his control. Or do his development tab, I guess would be the right move. All right, what if I was like, hey, y'all, we're retaining 90% now. Come get C-Mart. Not a big change there. Extreme ground ball with that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't hate that at all. Let's do it. You know, I think Chris Martin is replaceable in our bullpen. He wasn't going to be around next year. Gurriel, is he still in my organization? Oh, yeah. He's still on my team and not doing badly. He's revived his career in a very part-time role. Let's see. Hey, y'all. We're eating the whole deal. What you got? Wow. Hello, Joe Boyle. Why is this a thing? Joe Boyle. How many option years do you have left? 2 option years? Okay. Well, we're obviously going to make this trade. You might be leaning against this deal, but that's bananas. All right, so we've got a bunch of deals out there as we head into trade deadline day. Let's skip ahead and, like, I'm not going to start the trade deadline right this second. I mean, it will be in just a few seconds for you guys, but I'm going to cut it. Okay. Almost. I'll have to dig through to figure out who all these guys are that they want. But all of them are almost. So I think we're going to make a bunch of deals here. I do. All right. I'll dig into this. I'll do the trade deadline day. I'll record at some point. I don't know if I'll record doing that or just recap you guys. But that was a fun little impromptu exercise. Thanks for going on that journey with me. I'll let you know how this ends up turning out. And by let you know, it'll be in just a second for you and I don't know, tomorrow for me. Okay, so the trade deadline is done. Made a whole bunch of moves. A lot of them were based around the trades that I'd shown you guys just a second ago. But big one was I did end up moving Snell. I retained 30%. And the reason I was willing to do that is because I'm assuming he's going to opt out. Like, he might not with the terrible year he's having. And then that kind of sucks. Like, I'm on the hook for 30%. And also, like, kind of also would have liked to had him around, even though, I mean, his velocity's dropped. Oh, I didn't realize it's dropped twice. So his velocity started at 96 to 98. Oh, it's dropped 3 times. Oh, whoa. I again, kind of half paying attention to sim. Had not realized that. That sucks at his age to see that happen. So anyways, but he's a national now. I had to send minor league reliever Ryan Fernandez with him, who is having a good season, I guess. How did I get this guy? Oh, he's a Rule 5 guy. Okay. Drafted by the Cardinals. Oh, I was like seeing that Cardinals Major League experience. So he's with the Cardinals. They returned him. and then he was on my AAA team, and like, I don't know, he's a fine enough reliever. But we got Mackenzie Gore back, who is having an outstanding season for the Nationals, on pace for 3.1 WAR, 5 WAR, ERA of 3.38, the FIPS 4.23, strikeout to walk ratio is fine. I don't know. This seems like a potential big move for us. He's about to enter arbitration where he'll make $3.8 million, but a good prospect pedigree, and he's looking really solid. But the Nats, I guess, I doubt they're in it. Yeah, the Nats just decided that they needed to get rid of him so they could have Blake Snell for the rest of the season. I mean, this is the kind of trade that doesn't make sense, and I probably wouldn't make in like a long-term sim. And then I did deal Pivetta for Sandoval. I didn't get that pitcher back. I had to throw in this 25-year-old dude who is playing in rookie ball and has a 44 WRC plus. They came back, and he was one of the guys they listed. So I don't know. I see Sandoval, I guess, maybe is a little bit of a downgrade to Pivetta, but he's under club control for 2 more years, so that's a huge plus. Traded Tyler O'Neill and this dude to the Padres, and somehow got Dylan Head and Randy Vasquez, who will pitch out of our bullpen. I think probably it might be a starter, but something weird is going on with Tyler O'Neill's trade value in this game. Like, I think in my 2024 sim video that I had out a little bit ago, the Orioles had traded Colton Cowser and Yanir Cano for Tyler O'Neill, who had like a 65 WRC plus at the time. So similar. Now, of course, funny enough, Tyler O'Neill went on and won the World Series MVP in that sim, but I don't know. Something weird is going on with Tyler O'Neill's trade value because I should not be able to get that for him. We did trade Chris Martin. We got this high stuff, low control guy from Arizona. He's in high A right now. If I was controlling prospects, I'd have him in AAA. We had to throw in this guy, which I was fine with, whatever. And then we traded Lourdes Gurriel. We retained 100% of his like $1.1 million, and we had to go up a minor league reliever, whatever. That's fine. And we got Joe Boyle back, who this is his relief pitcher ratings here, but he's really, really struggled with Oakland this year, and he hasn't pitched very much AAA, but he's still got two option years left. Seemed like a good guy to bring in. Not like a big splash, but a guy who could turn into like a big splash for us, maybe. So those were the trades, I think. Yeah, those were the trades. The team, how does the team look? Well, catcher's the same, and it's a disaster. Kyle Teal is in Double-A hitting okay, but he's hurt, and he's there for like another week. I think I'm just going to call him up just for fun, see how he does. Cass is happy with that at first. Trevor Story, I shopped him around a little bit, but there wasn't a lot of appetite. He's having a good enough year. I mean, on pace for 3.3 WAR, 110 WRC plus, playing solid defense, but that contract, I really don't love it. But he'll be around. Devers, Grissom. I mean, the infield is pretty solid, I think. The outfield is a disaster. Now, when Yoshida comes back, which is when he comes back, like I think we're looking much nicer in the outfield. Not that he's like gonna save the entire outfield himself, but I think you got to remember we have a really good bat on the IL, but just we have no depth. So we have Tauchman in left field, who's kind of trailed off. Duran, I think, is a good piece to have in center. I think he's fine, and then Abreu, we're just going to kind of run out there and see how he does. He's been much better since he came back up. You can see, I mean, in July, since he's been caught up, he's a 196 WRC plus in 12 games. So could he be a piece for us next year? He's got the chance to prove it now. So maybe he can be. Castellanos, still hitting well in the DH role. Pitching side of things, not how we want it to look right now, but Whitlock, Gore, Bello, Sandoval, Houck. I mean, Whitlock, Bello, and Houck really was hoping like one of those guys would take a step forward this year. I guess, Bello's WAR, his FIP is really solid, but the 373 BABIP, so maybe he has taken the step forward, and we're just waiting for it to show up in results. Whitlock, I mean, he's been decent. Like, this isn't a terrible rotation. It's just not great. But Gore and Sandoval hopefully can help. Can pitch well. I mean, they'll both be around next year. So I still think we need more oomph in this rotation, which is the same issue we had coming into the season. And now we've, let go of Snell and Pivetta, who are our two best pitchers. But got to do what we got to do. Alvarado hopefully will straighten himself out. Bullpen ERAs are looking really rough here, but we do now have Joe Boyle here, and we have Randy Vasquez here. I don't know. I might just like DFA Kenley Jansen if he keeps being so bad. But, yeah, the bullpen's pretty terrible. It's the ERA is, worst in the AL. The zone rating, not really sure. What's going on with the zone rating? Oh, I thought I had that here in my stat row. I guess I don't. It's kind of my one catch-all that I like to look at here in the big picture. Big picture. Yeah, that's a fine place to put it. I mean, no one's got a dominant zone rating. Castellanos is really bad. Do they put Castellanos' zone rating on our squad? I mean, it's a little disappointing to see Vaughn Grissom with a negative 3.1. But yeah, I mean, that 60 infield range isn't ideal for short. I'm not sure what we're going to do there next year. He's playing there right now. He's much better off as a second baseman. I mean, he could play some outfield, but yeah, I mean, we need to figure something out for shortstop. I just don't quite have that figured out yet, especially with Story here. So we're going to need to shuffle some things around in the infield, and I think bring in a big bat for the outfield and then bring in a starting pitcher. But, that's going to come in the offseason. Let's go ahead and see how the rest of the season treats us. We're going to get Kyle Teal up, I think. I don't think I'm going to bring up Marcelo Mayer. I don't know. Well, I don't know. What's his – is he – I have him down here playing a bunch of positions. I mean, he's a 65 range guy. Could always just call him up for fun. I just don't know if he's ready. I mean, ratings-wise, he does kind of look like it, but, I think sometimes, and this could be totally erroneous on my part, but, I don't think you can just look at, the current and be like, okay, his currents are all good. Sometimes it's almost like there's, if there's too much of a gap between current and potential, they're not as good as they should be given their current, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I mean, I could see calling him up. I think later in the year we might. Maybe I'll promote him to AAA. So let's just go ahead and lock him and promote him to AAA and see how he does, because he's absolutely crushing it at AA. And then Kyle Teal is back in 1 week. He's got a knee contusion. He wasn't hitting as well, but 108 WRC plus, and his framing is positive. Maybe we'll just go ahead and promote him to AAA. And I think I'd call him up sooner, but just get a look at those guys. If I I don't think from a service time perspective I would be doing this if I was playing a long sim, but he has to be off the IL to do it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, if this is a long sim, I don't think I'd be doing that yet with service time, but they calling them to the major league club. Blaze Jordan is hitting. But I think I might in this just for fun. So let's go ahead and see how this season turns out. And, I'm not optimistic that it's going to be seen as a step forward season. I think we're kind of stuck in neutral. But it's kind of fun to mess around with, though. But let's see how it turns out. It's the end of the season. We ended 81-81. 2 games out of the last wildcard spot behind the Oakland Athletics. I mean, if you had told me before the season we weren't eliminated until – this is the 30th, until the 29th. We were 2 games out with 3 games to go, and then we both won. I think we both lost the last game. But anyways, I mean, 3 games to go in the season, we were still alive. If you told me that was going to be the case, the start of the season, I would have taken that by a mile. If you had told me that the A's were going to be the team I was chasing, I would not have believed you. If you told me the Dodgers were only going to win 84 games, I would not have believed you. The Padres winning 100 games. I mean, nothing too crazy here. Really bad season for the Phillies. Nothing too crazy here. I don't think anything too crazy here. The Rays were pretty bad and the Jays were really bad. But I mean, this theoretically could happen to these teams. The A's making the postseason. That's pretty wild. So, I mean, I honestly feel a lot better about this team than I did at the start of the season. I mean, Vaughn Grissom is a big part of that. 5 WAR, 134 WRC plus. Do I want him playing shortstop? Not really, but he's still a huge net positive on the team. I'd rather have him at second base, but we'll see what comes of that. But it's not the end of the world if he's our shortstop. Not really how I'd normally build a team. I mean, he wants 9 years, 155. Wait, what is this? This is a 9-year, $185 million deal. Whatever, man. Like, you know, I think that's if you're the player that you just represented, that's a bargain for me. But we'll see. We'll see about getting into those discussions. Devers, solid season, but honestly, not like a franchise player season that we need from him. That we'd like from him. I mean, you know, we want him more up in like this 135, 145 WAR player thing, not this 122 WRC plus a 3.5 WAR. Fielding was okay. Fielding was fine. That'll play. Cass is good. Story, solid season. I don't love the contract, but solid season. Jaron Duran. Is it Duran? Duran. Solid season in center field. Zone rating-wise, a -3.4. He was good in left, but, I mean, he's got the range. He's got a decent bat. Like, I mean, I think he's fine. If we have somebody, what am I trying to say? We don't need to go out and get a center fielder. Like, it's not a hole. We could always upgrade, but we don't need to go out and get one. Abreu, man, just lit the world on fire after struggling early in the season. I think he's got a spot in the starting lineup next year. I mean, just look at what he did. Like, you know, he was terrible in March, terrible in April, like unplayable for 3 months. We sent him down. He was up and down a little bit in this time too, and then was what had to be one of the better players in the league in July, August, and September. Just bonkers. And I mean, some of that's BABIP fueled, but I mean, he was really good, and I think he's a corner outfielder for us next year for sure. Yoshida, man, he just couldn't stay healthy. He absolutely crushed it when he was healthy. He got hurt like 19 times. I mean, he had 5 injuries. 3 of them were not day-to-day. He missed 2 to 3 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, 2 weeks. Like, that's a big killer, man. Like, you know, if you have him healthy all season, probably making the postseason. Like, if Devers is a little better, Yoshida plays 130 games, I think we're in. Rafaela, you know, represented himself well. I mean, he's got the 65 outfield range. He's got the 65 infield range. Like, even if he just is like a utility guy who can hit like that, that's fine. And I think he's also got some room to grow. And we've got him to a totally reasonable contract where if he just ends up being a utility guy with a really good glove, like, that's fine. Kyle Teal came up towards the end of the year. He's kind of struggling in AAA, so I wasn't going to call him out. Then I finally did, but he was like not playing that much. Reese McGuire was starting over him, but in the 5 games and 16 plate appearances that he played, he did fine. But yeah, he was not starting. I called up Nico Cavadas at one point because he was just murdering the ball in AAA. He came up and he was really good towards the end of the year for us too, but he's playing in the outfield, which is going to be a problem for him. He needs to be DH if he's going to play, but I don't know. With this power and this eye, like, this could be a really excellent player. I mean, look at his walk rate. Like, yeah, he's not his avoid Ks. You can see that coming out here in the strikeout rate, but I don't know. I mean, I think we got to find room for him. We've got Castellanos, who's like one of the worst fielders in the league this year, at DH and under contract. But maybe because we're only paying $10 million per year, we can offload Castellanos. I like his middle of the order bat, but he really trailed off for us late in the year, and he can't field, and we've got guys coming. So I don't really want – I think the depth is good, but I can't really have Cavadas and Castellanos on the team. We'll see. Westberg was bad in the exposure that he got. Valdez was up and was a little bit and was bad. Reese McGuire was terrible. Pitching side of things, we caught up Liam Hendricks at the very end of the year. He got into one game and okay, they were unearned runs. I couldn't figure. His FIP was 21.2. Interesting. He walked a lot of guys. Yeah, it wasn't. It was 2/3 of an inning. Okay, and he gave up a home run. Whatever. All right, got it. Let's just go by WAR. So, Brian Bello, really good by FIP. ERA was like a 1.5 higher. That's brutal. That is real brutal. The BABIP was 377. So is he ready to be a rotation fixture? I guess. Like, his peripherals say so. Garrett Whitlock pitched pretty well, enough to be in the rotation next year. Mackenzie Gore, after he came over, he was not nearly as good for us. results-wise, but some of that was the home run rate, the BABIP. I mean, the strikeout to walk ratio was better. The strikeouts were up. The SIERA was better. So I think he's definitely in our rotation next year. Patrick Sandoval, he was not very good for us. He was pretty bad for us ERA-wise, decent FIP-wise, but the walks were way up. So not what you want to see there, but hopefully he can right the ship and be part of our rotation next year. Tanner Houck was very meh this year. ERA over 5, FIP at 4.66. Bullpen, Alvarado had a really rough go for us once he came over in the trade. We've got some work to do in this bullpen for sure. And I am talking like I'm going to do another season because I think I'll do one more. I think I'll at least, I'm going to wrap this episode, but then in the next video, like do the off season and try to figure out what the needs are. Go out, do the off season, see what's going on, and then I don't know if I'll like general manage the next season. Maybe just like retire and simulate it and see how they do. But we're at least going to get an off season out of this. Then we'll see from there. But long story. Oh, Marcelo Mayer. Let me tell you, he got hurt, and then he had a setback. I don't know if he even came back and played. Oh, he played 15 games. Oh, he came back for a good bit at the end. Yeah, he had where's his injury history? Sorry. A herniated disc. He had 2 setbacks a day apart, which is weird. He was out for 5 weeks, but he did hit really well in the 15 games that he played. So maybe we're ready for him next year. I don't know. I don't really want Story and Castellanos are not necessarily players I want to move on from, but I mean I've got replacements in Marcelo Mayer and Cavadas, but Story and Castellanos are much safer floors. Like if I trade them and then these Mayer isn't ready, Cavadas strikes out too much, then we're in the same boat we were in this year with a bunch of holes. So it's I don't want to block those guys, but I also don't want to I'm our floor of performance so low that next season we're man, sure would be nice to have Trevor Story here. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to do. Marcelo Mayer got a bunch of experience at different positions. I could always bring him up in a super utility role, and then if he outplays Story, so be it. But I don't know. I'll get into that more in the next video to talk through the offseason plan. But I think we've got some really nice pieces in place. I think Grissom, Abreu, Devers, Cassis, Yoshida, and Duran, I think all those guys are definitely in place next year. And then Teal, and then, kind of see what happens with the other dudes. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for tolerating me playing with the Boston Red Sox. I know it's tough as a Baltimore Orioles fan, but I can relate. But it just seemed like a team in an interesting, what are we even doing here position. So, but I know what we're doing here now. We're marching forward. We're building this franchise up, and next year is going to be better. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys next time.